Reacher viewing figures beat The Wheel of Time to become Amazon's biggest hit. Amazon Prime Video's new series based on the Jack Reacher novels by Lee Child has become their biggest hit to date, besting their fantasy epic The Wheel of Time by quite some way in just 3 days on the platform. While the Tom Cruise starring Jack Reacher movies left something to be desired by fans of the novels and Child himself, Amazon's 8-part first season of Reacher sees Alan Ritchson taking on the title role in his true-to-novel appearance and has clearly hit the right chord with audiences. Although the series has already been green-lit for a second season, there is no doubt that after the viewing figures came in, Amazon would have been more than happy to make more of Reacher's stories had they not already taken the plunge. As reported by The Hollywood Reporter, only 3 days of statistics were available for Reacher on the Nielsen report. For week ending February 6th, the viewership across the 8 episodes topped 1.84 billion minutes watched. This makes it the highest of any Prime Video show even before its first 7 days are fully counted, and puts it well ahead of Amazon's previous record breaker, The Wheel of Time, which managed to haul in 1.16 billion minutes in its first week on release. Jack Reacher was first brought to life on screen by Tom Cruise a decade ago in 2012. And while the film did well at the box office and reasonably well with critics, there was always a tiny issue about size brought up by fans of Child's novel series. In the books, the one thing that defines Reacher is his intimidating size, something that for all his attributes, Tom Cruise just doesn't have. Even though the movie produced a sequel in 2016, it was mostly held up by Cruise's name alone. Amazon Prime Video launching their own TV show based on the novels solved that particular problem, and brought a lot more to the game for both new and old fans of the character. While one fantasy epic may have been battered into submission by Reacher's arrival, Amazon will be hoping that another will take back the crown later this year when Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power arrives. Having spent a large budget on its fantasy series, it could be quite a blow if Reacher, with a comparably low budget, can outshine both of Amazon's epic sagas. While Reacher has been praised for its adaptation of Child's novel Killing Floor, keeping much of the story intact and being faithful to the character Child created in 1997, there has been a lot of questions about how much of Amazon's Lord of the Rings series will actually come from Tolkien's work, and how much will be simply built around character names, locations, and events mentioned in the appendices of the novel. While it remains to be seen if this will impact viewing numbers before the first episodes of that series, Reacher has done enough in its first season to potentially satisfy fans for many seasons to come. Amazon Studios has finally struck gold with their latest adaptation, Reacher, which has shattered previous records to become the platform's most watched original series, even surpassing The Wheel of Time. Released to a global audience, Reacher has captured the imagination of viewers everywhere, marking a high point for the streaming service as it continues to fight for dominance in an increasingly crowded content marketplace. The massive success of Reacher is not only surprising, but also represents a significant shift in what viewers are looking for in streaming entertainment. The adaptation of Lee Child's best-selling Jack Reacher novels premiered with high expectations, but few could have predicted the overwhelming response it would receive. In fact, within the first 24 hours of its release, Reacher had already amassed viewing figures that eclipsed many of Amazon's previous hits. According to sources close to the production, the show broke through Amazon Prime Video's top-viewed series lists and maintained a strong momentum, with millions of viewers binge-watching the series in its entirety within days. While The Wheel of Time, the high fantasy epic based on Robert Jordan's expansive book series, was expected to remain Amazon's crown jewel for some time, Reacher quickly outpaced it, driven largely by a passionate fan base and newcomers who are lured in by the promise of a gripping, action-packed thriller. Reacher's simplistic yet effective formula, combined with a breakout performance by Alan Ritchson, has propelled it beyond the towering expectations that typically surround high-budget series like The Wheel of Time. A grounded, gritty alternative to high fantasy, part of Reacher's appeal lies in its stark contrast to the fantastical world of The Wheel of Time. While The Wheel of Time boasts intricate storylines, magical elements, and a sprawling cast of characters, Reacher is grounded, offering viewers a more visceral, relatable experience. Its gritty realism, combined with Jack Reacher's no-nonsense approach to crime-solving, has captivated those looking for a break from the fantasy-heavy lineups that many streaming platforms are investing in today. Reacher is, at its core, a crime drama, but with a unique hero at the center, an ex-military drifter with a sharp mind, immense physical power, and an unyielding moral compass. Unlike many of the morally ambiguous or supernatural characters that dominate the current TV landscape, Jack Reacher is a breath of fresh air for viewers looking for a protagonist who can solve complex problems with sheer willpower, raw intelligence, and brute force. For years, fans of Lee Child's novels have been waiting for a proper adaptation of their beloved hero, following the lukewarm reception of the Jack Reacher film starring Tom Cruise. While Cruise brought star power to the role, many fans felt he wasn't the right physical fit for the towering, imposing figure described in the books. In contrast, Alan Ritchson's portrayal of Jack Reacher has been widely praised for capturing both the physicality and the stoic intensity of the character, a move that seems to have resonated with audiences in a big way. The perfect casting and Alan Ritchson's star turn. Alan Ritchson's casting as Reacher is a key factor behind the show's monumental success. Standing at 6'2" and boasting a muscular frame, Ritchson embodies the formidable stature of Jack Reacher in a way that had been sorely missed in previous adaptations. But more than just the physical match, Ritchson brings a compelling depth to the character that has been praised by fans and critics alike. His portrayal is equal parts intimidating and charismatic, as he seamlessly transitions from moments of brute force to dry humor and calm introspection. Ritchson's star turn in Reacher has quickly become a defining moment for the actor, who had previously gained attention in smaller roles on shows like Titans and Smallville. This role has catapulted him into the global spotlight, and many are predicting that this could mark the beginning of a long and prosperous career as a leading man. Fan engagement and social media buzz. The show's meteoric rise is also a testament to the power of fan engagement and social media buzz. Even before its release, fans of the Jack Reacher novels took to social media to express their excitement and hope for a faithful adaptation. Once the series dropped, it was clear that Amazon had delivered on that promise. Online forums, Twitter, Reddit, and Instagram were flooded with posts praising Ritchson's portrayal and the overall direction of the series. The binge-worthy nature of Reacher, with its well-paced episodes and constant twists, made it easy for viewers to discuss and dissect the plot in real time. Word of mouth quickly spread, driving more viewers to check out the show, and it wasn't long before Reacher surpassed The Wheel of Time in viewership. Interestingly, the success of Reacher is also indicative of a broader trend within streaming platforms. While fantasy and science fiction epics remain popular, many viewers are gravitating towards more grounded, straightforward stories that focus on character development, strong performances, and intense action. Reacher's appeal is its simplicity. It doesn't rely on elaborate world building or complicated mythologies. Instead, it delivers a tight, focused narrative with a compelling lead character at its heart. A shift in streaming priorities. The success of Reacher has led to some speculation about what this might mean for Amazon's future programming strategy. While the company has invested heavily in its big-budget fantasy offerings, including the upcoming The Lord of the Rings series, the massive success of Reacher may prompt a shift toward producing more content in line with crime thrillers and action dramas.